how long I've been a father. I don't think that's a question, right? Like I think it's something that you learn to do. Like how long you've been learning how to walk. You understand? It's more or less something that you learn how to do, something that you become over time, and in the course of it, you make mistakes, right? You trip, you fall. It's the same thing for becoming a father. I think what limelight is more on us these days.
Growing up with an absent father, which of course was not your case. You did grow up with a family, a father and mother, and sisters and a brother. Just one brother, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you feel that this is a really crucial problem? I mean, from the way you look at it, say from the way you look at it as a Harlem kid, or do you think that this sort of analysis is misguided? And
Tell me something. Why do you think that various government, city and federal government agencies are always so anxious to come up with a report? You know, the people in Harlem don't need any reports.
What do they need?
The right to have a voice. Yeah, you already know. If you feel like you don't got a choice, you do have the right to have a voice. Yeah, this your host Kai, man, and welcome, man. Welcome to the show, man. I just appreciate everybody for coming out, stepping out here, rocking with us. You already know what it is, man. And I figure I gotta holler at y'all right quick and drop some real shit because this is this is the right to have a voice. So check it out, y'all. I just had to holler at y'all right quick and then bring this platform to life because here we a little bit different, man. You understand? Here we talk about things that's a little bit different, man. And we talk to the fathers. We're talking to the guys where, how can I put it? Who's in the mix? You know what I mean? Like, like my man, I was talking, to my man, he's a father, you know what I'm saying? And he worked, but every day, every opportunity for that bread, he did it. You know what I'm saying? So legally on the other side of that coin, or you just get to it. But him and brothers just like myself, man, we are wonderful fathers, And matter of fact, I think the misconception is that, wait a minute, let me go ahead and bring it back. You see, let me bring it back. I don't get the, not for a second, anybody talk about how, I ain't a square biz bull. All right, let's say it. And I'm not afraid to get to the meat of it. You know what I mean? So fuck it, I'm gonna just say it. I'm a DHS worker and hustle my ass off. You take that forever you want, But this show I want to talk to the audience that far few in between is what I'm gonna say. The ones that straddle the fence, the uniqueness just like myself. You know what I mean? So take that for what you want to take it for, but really just in the thick of it, just like the example of the hustling thing. You know what I mean? It's a misconception because first you think I mean to sell drugs. Nah, you know what I mean? I'm talking to clients, people just like myself, you know what I mean? Well, family members who don't share the same last name. You know what I mean? I think the perception is the way I look, the way that I talk, that I'm not a good father. You know what I'm saying? And I want to bring this to the forefront that that's not true. You know what I mean? We may be in the mix, we may be doing what we doing, but we love and we want our kids just like everybody else does. And just for me right quick, just to share my story and really quick, because I got a wonderful Matter of fact, for me, I'm a father, of course, and it's been a struggle to get my own children. I got full custody of my son, who I love to death. That's my man. And along the lines, during that situation and getting full custody, it was strange, man. You would think things is what it was, and then you come home one day and your family's just going and disappear. So we going to get into it, and we sure will. Um, Along the lines of it, I had a daughter, and with my daughter, I attempted to get custody of her. And this is as the petitioner. We're not talking about as the responded, meaning you're responding to something. I'm talking about as a petitioner when I went out there and I got it on my own and on myself. So essentially, I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the realness of what that has been like, and just to remember that situation, man. And getting my daughter, with my son, it wasn't too. It was difficult because it was a situation where we all get ridiculed by trying to do it. Like, why are you trying to get your kid? What's the plot of it? And it really ain't no plot most times. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just want to be in your children's life. So my situation pretty much was I came home from work one day, and upon me coming home from whatever I was doing, and you know what I mean, coming from the gig, family was just gone. It's after moving, after getting married. So fast forward, we are a divorce, but to bring it to the forefront of what it took to get my son, I got him because she left state. So, you know what I mean, was what it was. But for my daughters, the person was in town. So with that being said, I got 50%. I didn't get it. I got weekends first. We're gonna keep it clear. I got weekends first. Pardon me, y'all. This is the one first joints, but I got weekends first. And when I got weekends first, it was difficult. It was a difficult situation. It was frustrating. You want to know why? What happened? Why did this take place? And upon them questions as to why, you understand that there is no why. Um, it took me my second modification to get 50%, and that was a step up plan. Um, in the midst of it, of course, you on child support, you paying that coin. So why did it take me 2 years to get 50% of my daughter when the first modification I was told just weekends, and when I went to do the appeal, it was just like she's too young. And I'm going to be clear, she wasn't breastfed, none of that. It was just the fact that she's too young. So today, here I am talking my truths. This is a platform for men to talk these truths, talk that realness, and what it was like to get there. Today, I got one of I came across this myself because I was having a moment where, just down and out. I was like, is anybody going through this? Is anybody out there going through the same shit? Anybody? Um, and in the midst of it, I said, is there anybody that's going through it? And I'm looking and I'm searching because you find yourself in a mix, in a rut. Why me, right? So as I'm looking, I came across a brother, man, and he ended up getting his kid, man. And I can't tell his story. I really can't tell his story the way he can. You know what I'm saying? But my journey was something else. Yes, I had an attorney, all of that. You know what I'm saying? But it's still a struggle. It's still a process. The attorney, you be looking at them like, yo, we even with top dollar. You hear me? So upon my journey, I ran into a brother, man, where this man, and I mean, this dude, man, he got his kid, but talk about a story. You feel me? Talk about a story. Um, Talk about it. Difficult one, and I can't speak the story. Only he can pretty much speak it. So I can't really. I know that the journey that I went through personally, it was difficult. You know what I mean? And it's been a hard one. So I want to personally send an invite to my man, African Cartel, man. He is solid dude. Um, I really appreciate him. His story is something else. Um, he's going to come in here, tell his story, and African Cartel. Uh, That's his name. He goes by Krishner, but his story is more than anything. And I would like to invite him in here so he could tell his truths. There's only one way to do that, man. There's only one way to do that. And that's having a choice and knowing that you got a right to have a voice. So I tend to bring in these guys, real stand-up dudes, that really is um, that's really in the mix. And the story that, I mean, I had attorneys, I had things of that nature but for him, his story was different. His story was a huge one, and I can't begin to tell that story without having him to do it. So um, I'm gonna have him in here in a minute so he could go ahead and tell his truths. And my truths is one and another. That process of going through the courts, because a lot of people don't know. A lot of guys don't know about this process. So I created this platform so we can talk about it, so we can tell your story. Because there's a lot of men out there that have that story to tell. I can't be the only one out there that's going through it, having them situations and concerns. So it's not easy. It's one of them things where we don't know what to do. We have nobody to look to. And in the system, a lot of times we think that, because we the man, we want to protect our children. We want to do those things, right? So it's a misconception of when we do it because we really don't know how to. And a lot of times it get looked at as control. It get looked at as, oh, he's angry, he's abusive, he's this. Man, a lot of times it's us being men and doing what we got to do or think is something that we have to do. When I started this journey, I started this as a man first, attempting to do my thing, that I I'm just trying to do as best as I can here to focus hard. And with that being said, the only way to do that is just trying to be the man that you can be, you know. And the only way that you can do that is just by maintaining your personality, maintaining yourself, and doing what you can do to stay away from other people that 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 do that's into that suckers. That's into that sucker shit. You know what I'm saying? So, without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce my man. You know what I'm saying? Um, I want to get him in here. I want to see what's up with him. I'm gonna highlight him, see what the deal is, and for all of us here, is really something that you know that we all just gotta really focus on, and stay away from other people that want to go ahead and put us down on shit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and see what the deal is and try to really, 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 really get into the mix of what we doing. And what we doing is we focusing on the truths. We focusing on the truths of other people. And what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna let my man come in here, get with him. Let me see, man. Let me see what's up with him, man. See what the deal be about. And we go send this joint out. See what the deal is to him. All right. Let's see what it is with him, man. We gonna be doing this, John, man, and the only way that we can go ahead about it is just do what we could do and how we could do it. So basically, my platform is for fathers. You know what I'm saying? My platform is for fathers. You know what I mean? And with us getting into this, man, I want to make sure that we all can just have a word and something to really get into and talk about. You know what I'm saying? Really, and what we all doing is we all just being stand up, hustling hard fathers, man. You know what I mean? And we gonna make sure that we get into it, and we got one of the best here. You know what I mean? So basically, guys, every week we gonna have topics where we talk about some real shit, and it can only get that way. And a lot of times with us, man, there is no other way to do it but to really sit down, have real conversations, and talk about it. And I had to create this platform because a lot of nights is hard. You know what I mean? And how about for you? How about for you? What is it like for you? What is it like for you when you had those nights? Because for me, in trying to get my kid, and when I'm trying to focus and have those moments, it's not easy for me to look and find a resource. So I look for other people. I look for other people. I look for what they've been through and how's it been for them. So without further ado, man, I want to be able to have somebody come in here and talk. And it's going to be like that every week, man. It's going to be like that every week. And we're going to talk about it. You know what I mean? So when I first attempted to get my child, um, it was it was it was more or less even the paperwork. You know what I'm saying? The relationships and how it started out. Just by being a man, you would think that a lot of things that you're doing is incorrect. You don't know. You don't got a place to really have that at, right? So what we gonna do is we gonna jump in here and we gonna let y'all hear some um, words from him. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna introduce him in here. And right now, I think we got my man Krishner in the building, man. I'm just now talking about it, man. I gotta introduce this man, man. The story that he been through, like I said, I can't describe it myself. The only way I can describe it is have him come here and talk his truths, man. Krishner, what's happening, big bro? I wanted to make sure I bring you in, get you in right. You know what I mean? And how you doing, big bro? What's happening with you, man? Man, bless. I can hear you well, brother. I just want to say thank you for being here, man, and thank you for working with me through the difficulty of starting this out, man. I just want to appreciate your time and thank you for being here, man, and being patient with me. You know what I'm saying? Thanks a lot.
Yeah, no
Can you hear
problem.
me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you well and clear. I got my Bluetooth, and I just wanted to make sure that you were clear on. I was clear on
Awesome.
your end.
Absolutely, boss man. So I invited you here because like I told you when we talked on the phone, man, it was a moment where a lot of nights myself it was difficult for me. You know what I mean? It was difficult for me to just process it all. You know, um, I, before I get into it, Krishna, would you mind if I play? Uh, would you mind if I play the clip and let the people, just hear your story a bit? Would you mind if I play it?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, play it.
I appreciate. I'm gonna go ahead and get into this.
When his mother left him alone in a car in Oak Park, CPS did not take the child away, but the father showed our story to a judge in Georgia. And the latest chapter in this bitter custody battle took place here in the lobby of the Southfield Police Department.
I had to pray and I had to fast and I had to ask God. I had to ask God, man. Do something. Do something, man. I've been good all my life. I've been good all my life. I've been good all my life, and this is my only son.
Krishner Pendergrast finally holding his son Amari for the first time since Amari's mother moved him to Detroit from Georgia well over a year ago.
So my man, Krishna, I can't imagine, and thank you for letting me show that, man. I really appreciate that. I can't imagine how difficult it was, man. And I know you did an interview with I'm gonna try to touch on a few different things, and he did a wonderful job. But if you don't mind, man, I want to start from the very beginning. You know, before you even got here, man. So tell me, I just want to ask you. So from the very start and the beginning, what even brought you to that point? How? What? How did it all start, man? Just tell me. How did it? So much, but how did? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Regarding to with the just child custody or just in regarding the parental that part.
The child custody when you first started, like when it all first happened. Um,
Okay.
when it all first happened.
All right. Well, pretty much. My son was born in the state of Georgia,
Okay,
and Georgia has a law,
for
just
sure.
like I'm going to realize there's a lot of other laws that are kind of similar. They might have different names or whatnot, but it's pretty much the
Mm-hmm.
same law. You have a child with a woman and you're not married to a
Right.
woman, regardless if you're on the birth certificate or not, um, by law, you have no rights to that child. So the mother has all the rights, and pretty much you are not deemed as the father until you go to court. And
So,
in the state of Georgia, they call it a called the split my mind at the moment. But anyway, it's a
yeah.
procedure that you go through, that you have to file a
Mm-hmm.
motion to have a hearing, and pretty much you have to go in front of a judge and you have to say, I am the father of the child, and she has to acknowledge that you were the father.
For sure.
Um, if she doesn't acknowledge that you're the father, they do DNA tests and all that stuff. But I was acknowledged, I was the father. It was my son.
Okay. Okay.
From there,
Yeah.
that's where the court orders come in, and child
Right.
support, and parenting plan.
How did you feel when you got that? When you got that feeling that that was your child? I'm sure you knew, but when it came with everything else, the child, the child support, the parenting plan, when all that hit, is that when it real, or is that when you started to understand, like, all right, I'm just not getting my son now. The court is making me do additional things.
No, it got real. It was before then,
Okay.
because there was some things that were going on
Mm-hmm.
that I reported to the authorities as
Okay.
a law-abiding citizen, tax-paying citizen.
Right. Right. You got
Things
the
go
right to
right.
do that.
You have the right. That's your right. You don't want to
Right.
do anything uncivil, and then you end up in a position now where you've taken away your right.
For
And
sure.
as a black man in America, that we have to, you know, trot a very fine line when it comes to certain things, pretty much
Absolutely.
anything. It's
Absolutely.
just the way it is. Some people say, it's not always like that, but I'm a black man. I can only speak on behalf of, you understand what I'm saying? But
Absolutely.
so, I started reporting things to the police department, some things that were going on in the home, and I just realized that no one was taking it seriously.
Right.
And officer said to me, he said, you're gonna have to get a lawyer. Pretty much in the state of Georgia, you have no rights whatsoever.
Right.
It doesn't matter if the child lives with you, if you're taking care of the child, it does not matter whatsoever. You have no rights to that child as by Georgia law.
Right.
Um, you know, I continued to file police reports and do whatever I could do,
Absolutely.
to the point where it got into a detective, and I started to realize that they weren't taking me seriously.
Hmm. Okay.
It was just a case where it was like, okay, well, she's the mom,
Right.
and what do you want us to do? There's nothing we can do. And I just kind of, I just everything just felt wrong. And there was a couple of officers that sat me down. Some of them
Hmm.
didn't even want to take courts because they were like, this is they call it a civil suit.
A civil suit. Right.
Yeah, they said civil. We can't do
So
anything about it.
so getting to that point, right? And now you got now when you got the parenting plan, what was the first parenting plan? Let me ask you that.
The first parenting plan was I got joint custody. It
Okay.
was 50-50. So it was straight
Okay.
down the middle from the beginning.
From the start.
Within the
So from that start, they gave you 50-50.
yeah, from
Oh, that's what's up.
when I went to court the
Mm-hmm.
first time,
Yeah.
it's called legitimation. It just
Okay.
came back to me. File
Okay.
for your legitimation to
Really?
prove that you are legitimately the father. And then from
Legitimate.
there, they can legitimately put you on child support. That's
There
what
it
that's all
is.
about.
Okay. Okay.
But it's called legitimation. So you file for your legitimation,
Right.
and you legitimately become the child's father by the law.
Yeah.
Then from there, there is a parenting plan that is worked out, between the lawyer and, the other party,
For
or
sure.
however you can work it out. Maybe y'all can go in there and do it yourselves. It just
Right.
depends. I got a lawyer because I didn't know anything about the system.
Like
I
most of
didn't,
us don't.
yeah, and it wasn't a very straight up. I'm a very straightforward guy. Hey, this is what's going on.
Right.
This is what's happening. I have a problem. All the officers were telling me, get a lawyer,
Right.
get a
From the rip.
family lawyer from the rip. And some of them
Okay.
officers, I ain't gonna lie, a lot of those officers sat down and told me their side of the story with dealing with this situation within their own personal lives too.
Lucky you.
You
That's lucky.
know,
And a lot of them
so
sure was on some bullshit too.
a lot of them, and then a lot of them too, they had their own personal issues with child support and having kids from previous marriages that they don't see.
Wow.
So it was weird to see that dynamic too,
That's
because you think
crazy.
that
That's really crazy that you noticed all of that while you was going through what you were going through, because these are just, you would think that they're there to do a service, right? But instead you notice all of that while you're attempting to get this service. You know what I'm saying? Hey Krishner, I do want to ask you to take a step back, right? Since you explained that, I want to ask you, can you tell us about your upbringing? I want to take it a step back. Tell us if you grew up in a like a father and mother household yourself.
no, I grew up, my mother raised me, with the
Okay.
help of my grandma. The door was open. My father, he had other things he was doing, but the door was always there. I grew up in a West Indian household.
West Indian.
And, where there, discipline, principles, and certain, wisdom and instillment within you.
Right.
And, my mother, she put all of her children first. I'm the oldest of three. She made sure, we went to, decent schools,
Right.
She worked 2-3 jobs. She did
Sure.
what she had to do as what a mother should do for her children, putting them first. So pretty much, like I said, my father, he could have been there if he wanted to, but that was a decision that he made. But no one closed the door on him nor held us hostage. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, it was my mother and my grandmother who raised me.
Okay.
Pretty much.
What out of that upbringing that that you're talking about, what did you take? What value did you take from being raised by your mother and your grandma? What was the most important value that you took, that you carried into your parenting today?
Respect.
Okay, respect.
Respect.
How about towards children, in a sense, or respect towards women, respect towards anybody?
Respect to everybody. Respect all the way to the Most High God. Respect all the way down to the creatures that are here on earth that God put here. You should have a level of respect for every being. You know what I'm saying? And you have to show respect in order to get respect. But sometimes it doesn't go like that. So
right.
When it comes to children and parenting and stuff like that, I believe children are children, and they should be in an environment that they're able to grow, where they're able to mature without any chaos or any confusion.
Absolutely.
And sometimes adults have adult business, and adult business should be handled around adults and not in front of children. And that's just what I believe, stand on, and that was one of the major factors in my household that my mother upheld, regardless who came around or what was the situation. We didn't see the business that the adults had to handle behind the scenes.
For sure.
So
with that note being said, you speak on a respect. May I ask, how did you meet your child's mother, if you don't mind?
Well, it was through mutuality and mutual people, some people that I knew, kind of like passing through, at that time. But everything was cool in the beginning, and everything was just like when you never know what you get until, I always tell people this, you never know somebody until you live with them.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
And that's a man or a woman.
Facts.
You don't know what you're getting until you actually live in 4 walls and a roof with somebody, and you get to say, okay, this is how they keep their bathroom, or this is how they deal with this, or this is how they respond. This is how they respond when they're under pressure and the rent is due and you're short, because you got to pay the light bill.
That's a great point. It's a great point.
Finance play a big part too in the pressures of society between male and women, male and female dynamics too. But I think, with that being said, you still have to have a standard stature of respect even in those hard times. So when you get through those hard times and you overcome those triumphs, you can sit back and say, okay, we did it and we didn't crack, we didn't fold. Those are like the true trophies that you take from when you're going from, a new family to going through the baby stage, and then, you're in the 1-bedroom apartment, and then, you're working and you're hustling everybody, and then you actually get to another stage in life. You can look back and say, boy, we made it through that. To me, those are some of your medals of honor that you take with you. When you see these older couples and they've been together for 50 years, 60 years, as a man and woman, husband and wife, everything wasn't all rosy. There was some infidelity in there. There was hard times in there. They had about 10 kids in there, 10 different mouths to feed. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't.
Where did it go, if you don't mind, because I'm gonna lead up to it. Where did it go bad with y'all too? Was it what you speak about? Like you moved in and you saw some things that you just wasn't really feeling.
I mean, on a broad spectrum of it, it was just, lack of respect. And like I said, you don't really know a person until you live with a person. I mean, that's another thing too, like where a person comes from as far as their upbringing, their background can play a big part in it too. Past trauma, you know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's a fact.
We're told, we as men, we're told to get over it. Get over it. And it's like, okay, well, we got to suck it up, put our boots on, and do what we got to do. But the level of entitlement to hold on to past experiences and then bring them into your present situation, I think that's totally unacceptable. And I think where there is also healing, and there's also a time for therapy.
That's right.
And I just feel even in our community, brother, there isn't enough therapeutic intervention when it comes to the previous occurrences that happened that have scarred us both, male and female. We've all been through trauma. So, just on that note, just disrespect, entitlement, lack of empathy.
Okay. So with those things going on, right? Was your son born then when y'all was living with each other? Was he born then? Like
he was on the way.
He was on the
way.
He was
on the way.
All right. So I'm assuming. No, go ahead. I'm assuming that when he was on the way, this is when it all happened.
Yeah, when he was on the way. Right. He was on the way. That's when it all, started. Just unacceptable behavior that is not suitable to an environment when you're bringing a child into the world.
For sure.
That's just
did you know she was pregnant when you did you leave? And did you know she was pregnant, or did you find out after? Or who left? I'm gonna lead up to it.
No, it was a planned pregnancy.
It was a planned pregnancy.
Was planned. For sure. Yeah, it wasn't a one night business.
Yeah, for sure.
We dated for 2 years, and it was planned. It wasn't no loose business type of thing. I had I had my son at 29. So I waited.
For sure. So everything planned, of course. Now, with that being said, though, when you notice the things, like when your son was born, right? And you're going to court, is it then that you decided to leave? Like you got 50%, so you got 50% now. So where did it go south with it not being 50% anymore? You know what I mean?
Court order meant nothing.
Oh, okay. So she didn't. she didn't respect the order.
Court order meant
So I'm assuming
before the court order, after the court order. And honestly and truthfully,
wow.
court orders don't mean anything, brother.
But
They mean something for us.
You know what?
But
But you actually bring a good ass point up, and the point is that women have control of the child because they having the baby, right? And you're waiting on your child, right? So they have control. They have the child. They take the child to where they want to go. And you're just doing your part, getting the order. And you're saying that she didn't respect the order after you did all of that?
there was nothing. Court orders, they're good to have.
It's not like you can go to jail from a
Yeah, they're good to
right.
You can. No, you can. You're supposed to. I mean, if there's a court order, if me and you have some type of altercation,
Right.
and we go to court,
Yeah.
and the judge says, "Hey, you stay away, from him, and he stays away from you."
Mhm.
If I put it in the order, if any of you guys are found within X amount of feet of each other, whoever initiated contact is going to spend 30 days in jail, and I'll hold you in contempt. It's called contempt.
Contempt of court. But you would figure that this is an order, you done what you did, and that person will have a respect for that order that's 50%, and they're going to meet and show up. Like, so are you saying that they just didn't follow through with what was on paper?
That's what we have to abide by. You see, the whole about this thing is the lack of accountability that court, society as well, the lack of accountability. They don't hold women accountable. They don't hold this. This is a bigger problem than court. This is a society thing. They don't hold women accountable.
I'm sorry, because you say it so easy that Jesus did 50%. I mean, to me, it's like 50%. It's an order. You got to follow it. You can be held in contempt. All of these things. So the fact that you say it so easily that, hey, she just didn't follow through, is so many ramifications that can happen after that, that I'm just shocked at how you said it so easily that that person didn't follow through. So I'm assuming you did your part and, you filed the contempt and all of that, right?
Yeah, I did everything. I can say it easily because there's nothing I haven't seen in court.
Right. Nothing you haven't seen.
I'm numb to it.
Wow.
You've got me at a time when, this experience is something, just like how you found me.
Right.
I pray to God, the Most High, that other younger men coming up find you and they find other content online that can prep them for what's really around the corner when possibly could go wrong. Good woman, bad woman,
right?
Good guy, bad guy, lawyer, policeman, firefighter, military vet. They get screwed the worst. I've seen some things in court with them.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this is something that should be preached in school, especially the law about, if you have a baby with someone and you're not married, you own no rights to that. That should be
just like health class. Right, just like health class. I mean, just like science.
Science, sex ed, some type of civil type of class or something that tells you, hey, guys, especially at the age of high school where, boys and girls are at that age of promiscuity. But you see, at the end of the spin on it is this all makes money for a system.
Of course.
So they tell you to go to school, do good, get a degree, get a job, be the best version of yourself. And you do all of that and you turn around, you have a baby with somebody and something goes wrong. And even if something goes wrong and she's not a bad person, if the police are involved, you still can get arrested. And then now they have something called you versus the state.
Right. And now you're owing the state, right? Which is meaning you're back to the system. You're back to the system. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is this. You going through all of that at this point where you're filing the contempt. Is this person still in state or did they leave at some point?
Well, the lawyer, the lawyers always threaten first.
Okay, of course, yeah.
You know, my client says he's having a problem seeing his son, that third, but you don't want to go right back in there too. Like, it's a strategy to it, because you're at the disadvantage because you're a man.
Right.
And I hate to say that, because the scales of justice, they show the picture where it's equal and stuff, but it ain't equal, bro. So you don't want to go back in front of that judge before the ink even dried on the order and talk
Even
about
as
this,
a
that, third.
petitioner, even as a petitioner, that's how you feel, that the system drains you. Even going there to get a service as a petitioner, which means that you started this whole thing, you feel drained.
You feel drained, and you feel like you've been robbed, you've been cheated. The lawyers are telling you, no, we can't go back in there. I was ready to file a contempt the day after.
The day after the visit ain't happened, right? The day after,
the day after, when we got the order, right? Once that order goes into effect, I sign on the dotted line, the other party signs on the dotted line, the judge signs, okay?
And did she show up to court, by the way? And did she show up to court when the order? Okay, so she did show up.
For the 50-50, for the custody, she showed up. You go in front of the judge. The lawyer already spoke. They already decided who gets what. I got medical and education. She got religion and extracurricular activity. Now, that order is right. That order is strictly for, if you guys cannot see eye to eye, who has the last word. That is the order.
That's the order.
And within that order, there is the child support arrangement within the order. There is the pick up and drop off.
Pick up and drop off meat and point.
The holidays, how you're gonna do it,
child
whatever
support.
The child support, and also certain other things in there too, like a person, neither party can move. Like, I think my order, neither party can move 50 miles without consulting the other.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You can put things in there to kind of structure it away. But as I got my rights, I paid my lawyer. You know what I mean? Put the money together, paid my lawyer, and now I want to see my son. Okay, I want to know where he's going to school. I want to meet his teacher. I want them to know who I am. I get up to the daycare, and they're telling me they have policy and procedure. They cannot give me any information because they have policy and procedure, and I'm not on the pickup list. And I'm like, well, I have a court order right here. You need to call my lawyer. So they treat you like you ain't nothing anyway.
Right.
It's the whole. I'm telling you, it's the whole. This barbed wire around the man. And anywhere you try to school, doctor, hospital, court, police station, it's like, oh, you're the man. Are you against the mom? What's wrong with you? One officer told me, and this was the officer working in a courtroom. He was the bailiff. He said, can't you just wait till 18?
Are you serious?
Yeah. He said, I have a son. And obviously, maybe he had to. He didn't go into depth. He said, I have a son.
Right.
He said, can't you just wait till 18?
Obviously, he's waiting till 18. You know what? You make a good point with that. Because let's say that officer was in a situation where he had to wait. It's like a lot of men just not only give up, or they don't know, or it's like, I waited till he was 18. Why don't you wait till he's 18? You know what I mean? And that's kind of crazy that you mentioned that point. But let me go ahead and bring it up to speed really fast. So, you attempt to file a contempt. You want to anyway, and I'm assuming you want to do that because you have no idea where they are at this point.
No, at this point, my son is still young.
He's still young.
And he was still young. We weren't together anymore. So automatically the baby went to her. She was still in the state. But it was my family and my support system who was watching him and taking care of him. So now we're not together. She pulled away from the babysitter who was like family to us, was like his mom. All the things that when you have a small child, he's developing. You don't want to do this type of stuff.
Right.
Exactly. it was more about, I didn't really care about the laws and stuff. It was more like doing what was right for the child so that he
Absolutely.
can go through any trauma,
Right, right,
if you
right.
know what I mean. I'm
For sure
saying,
that.
and you just don't want to pull a child from everybody he knows and then throws him
Yeah,
in
from
some
his
damn
support
day.
system. Right. From
Yeah,
his support system.
but this is one of the reasons why the law needs to be changed. Some
Absolutely.
of these women do
Absolutely.
not care. They do not
Absolutely.
have any type of qualm on child development. Nothing. They don't. Nothing.
And
There's nothing. So it's like you're fighting for the rights of the child so that
right.
he can mature and stuff. And they're like, man, get out of here. Pay your
Right.
child support. Do this. It's
Right.
almost like they bait her and they give her the tools to fail the child so the child can fail and then he ends up in the system. And I saw
Absolutely.
that from way like, wait a minute, this ain't sounding too right.
Or
They're
facts.
allowing her to run any green lights and they're
Facts.
not even considering her actions, which are actually going to implement the child in a negative way.
Facts.
But then again, I
Right.
sat back and I said, he's a boy, he's a male, and then he's a
Mm-hmm.
black male.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And you know what? So you know that it's a system, it's a plot. You know what I'm saying? So, one of the things about that makes it difficult is like, what do we do? And the thing that happens next is, as you're attempting, you're chasing to get your son. At what point
Bottom line, she
did
she
you have
she left the state.
yeah.
She left the
Okay.
state.
All right.
Left the state. Whatever living arrangement she had, who knows? I don't know where
Yeah.
my son is at. But at the end of the day, I know that the safest place for him to be was in the state of
This was
Georgia.
you. So let me tell how long did you go without seeing him before shit got real? Like, I mean, it was always real, but yeah, I mean, the marshals and all that. Before I get there, at what point did it get real? Like, whoa, how long you went without seeing him? Like, I need my son.
I was seeing him for almost 2 years.
2 fucking years? Are you kidding me? 2 years, man. Yo, that makes me angry, and it's like I can't imagine, yo. So these 2-year periods, you got this fire that's burning inside you, and you get to a point where you reach some people. You must have like, how did you get to a point where you got on the the news and because nobody cares about men, like you said. So during that 2-year period, I'm assuming it burnt the fire in you. Who did you touch, or who heard your story that wanted to help you? Because I'm
Well,
assuming that 2-year period was hell. So
me and my mother started just contacting everybody who we knew.
Wow.
Who we knew, who we didn't know, radio stations. Shout out to Rashad Ritchie.
Absolutely.
In
Wow.
Atlanta, he on the radio. We were able to. We started a GoFundMe.
Oh, shout out to him.
I started. Like I do music too on the side, and I know, when pushing a single, how you really in your underground, you really got to push a single and take it to the radio stations, and knock on
Fact.
doors, and put your own stuff up on social media. So I did all of that. I just promoted it like I was promoting some music, man. But at the end of the day, it had a deeper meaning, and it touched more people than I know, because there were so many other people going through the same silent cry, including a lot of people around me who I was doing business with and didn't even know.
My man said, I was looking for my son like I was promoting my music, man. Cause you promote, you put your music out, you work hard, it's a product, you want to put it out, but you're passionate because it's your work. Your child is your work. Your child is wow. It's crazy how you put that dynamic together. I'm sorry, that was pretty deep, man. So wow. So now you and your mom is contacting people. You on the radio, is getting out there. How did people perceive you once your story got out there during this time? Like, you're a man trying to get your kid, your story's out there on the radio now. It's getting out there. How are people looking at you now?
You got people who's coming out. You got people who's coming out in support, and then you got people who's coming out the male bash. Oh, he just doesn't want to pay child support. oh, why is he attacking the mother? Don't even know the story. Don't know nothing. You can pull up everything you want in court. Everything is public. But you got your man bashers, and then you got your supporters. And a lot of men started coming out, and I started putting it on Facebook and social media, and promote like for real. We were on the Al Sharpton's, his morning show, Al Sharpton.
Damn.
And
How'd
Al Sharpton.
you work? Wow. You was on Al Sharpton's?
Yeah, I was on Al. I'm a member of NAN, National
Wow.
Action Network. I'm his Harlem chapter. Well, like I said, I do conscious reggae hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So they know me as African Cartel. I've performed for Reverend Al Sharpton and his Saturday service, and I've done things in the community, already that have pushed for the betterment, of the community and fighting for the rights of others. You understand? So, my mother, she knows all the mothers of the movement. Eric Garner's mother, she knows. Philando Castile, Trayvon Martin.
Oh, shout out to moms, man.
Personally.
Shout out to moms, man. Wow. So this is before your situation. Mom's was already in that mix. She was already in that type. Wow.
Correct. She's already prominent. That's helpful. But
wow.
Even being prominent in the community, I don't know what it is, man. When it comes to fathers' rights, bro, it's like people start turning their head and saying, so what did he do? Did he do anything? What did he? It's like, what are you talking about? This is my son. You know him. He's African Cartel. He's performed at your Thanksgiving functions. Like, come on. We were there with Martin Luther King Jr. and Dexter Jr. and those guys. I mean, like, we're well in the community, but there's a split, man. There's a divide. Women over here, we keep the women distracted, whatever they want to do, and give them the money, and the men kind of just pay out for it. And that's when I started realizing that, everybody really wasn't equal rights, really.
Wow. Man.
But we did a lot of. We went to the FBI.
Yeah.
Detroit.
Now you say in Detroit. Now you say in Detroit, is that a place where you assume she was at some point?
That's where she was with my son. That's where she was from.
You find that? Okay, because that's where she was from. Her family was at, so you assume that's where she took.
I hired private investigators, man.
Right.
I spent a lot of money. It wasn't no click.
Now I want to touch on this PI part really fast because that is unique, right? Because a lot of times we as males, we get into a situation where we want to know where our kid is and we be the PI, right? We start driving, looking for our kid, right? And then, you feel me? Like, we want to know where our children are. So we start doing these things, right? But you can't do that in society because you'll get a protective order, you'll get a restraining order against you.
It's a trap. You can't go looking for your kid yourself because everybody's against you. Social workers are against you.
Crazy,
the police are against you. Women can say anything. Any woman, she doesn't even have to be a baby mother. She can be any woman that you pass on the street, and she can turn around and say, "He's touched me. He did this." Could be a coworker, sexual harassment. And you can turn around, and then you all of a sudden, they say innocent till proven guilty, but really you're guilty until proven innocent. And then when you're found innocent, your reputation and your everything else is tarnished. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, as how it goes in this society, I'm sorry to say, and I hope everybody else is watching this, and all of the young men are watching this. At the end of the day, a woman can say anything. And if they can put you there, even if you're not there, you can get brought up on charges. DA can draft up a case.
Facts. That's smart. And I'm trying to understand, how did you understand that I got to get a PI? I understand that she's out of state, but the conscious and the smartness of saying I need to hire a private investigator. Yo, that's an unheard of. Well, not unheard. A lot of people don't know about that career and that profession. but neither to say the least, to know that I need to do that, because if I do it as a male, I'm gonna look like I'm a stalker, all of this. You hired a PI. Yo, that was actually smart. So you hire a PI in Detroit, and he does
Yeah.
what? You know what I mean? Was he shocked when he first heard the story? Like, or is this something that he
That
was
was
used to doing?
this was he said, man, I've never heard anything like this.
Wow.
You're my first real client. He was just starting up his business, but
Okay.
he's ex-military,
Okay.
so he knew how to move. He knew the area. I gave him all the details, and pretty much, he got to work, man. And
Wow.
with him and the Most High guiding him, he was able to get, footage and where my son was, and then that time when, he was left in the car, and
Yeah.
that got on the news, and the police caught red-handed. The police still gave her
Oh,
the baby back and told her,
are you
said
fucking
she didn't do anything wrong. She didn't do anything wrong. So I went deeper and I said, I want the body cameras. They
Oh,
sent them body cameras. I recorded body cameras 3 times. The first one came blank. The second one, the disc was cracked.
what?
The third one came with water damage. The fourth
Oh
time I
yeah.
requested, they said the footage was no longer in the server.
Oh, that
Shit.
sounds like a civil case to me right there at that point. But wow. Okay. So the PI, right? You getting him. May I ask how many hours he put into before he concretely knew the job, everything? How many hours you know did he spend that he finally said, okay, I think I got something here? Was that 20 hours? Was
Less
that
than
like,
than less than 24 hours, man.
wow, blessings on that? Damn. See, that's crazy how, damn, good job on his part, and how diligent he was moving. So I want to ask this question, right? Because for the devil's advocate of it all, right? I want to ask this question. When she went in, I'm assuming that was her job, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was her job. So um she goes into work, right? No excuse for it, but was she working? Or was she picking up a paycheck? Was she working, or was she picking, if you don't mind me asking?
Look, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if she was working, if she was picking up something. All I know is that in the
Yes,
state
sir.
of Michigan, you're not supposed to leave a child under the age of 6 years old.
Facts.
That's
Facts. That's the law.
would
And that's the bottom
they have
line.
asked me. They have asked me and you, were you working, sir? What were you doing? But
Right.
hands behind.
True.
Yeah,
True.
do you have anything in your pockets, hands behind your back? We're calling
Facts.
DFACS to pick the child up. You're going to
Facts.
be taken down, so and so and so and so. You have the rights to remain silent. Anything you use against you in a court of law.
No questions asked. No questions asked. That's right. I just had to ask because it's like the theory of moms going into work, whatever. And you're right. The law is the law. And we all gotta abide by the law. It's now, I'm assuming we gonna fast forward to this. Right? I'm assuming you have your son today, right? How is it?
Well, he's coming along. He's developing. He's 7 now. But the trauma and things of that, it still shows in his behavior. You understand? The trauma, everything that I reported to the police that was going to happen, and how this could affect him psychologically, emotionally. It happened, and
It
no one
happened.
cared. That's why I said I'm numb to this. Like, I'm so numb to it. Like, it's like, at the end of the day, it's like what I tell men now. I say, if you're gonna have a kid, man, are you empathetic? Do you have empathy? Do you have a heart? Do you
Facts.
care? What type of man are you?
Mm-hmm.
Because it seems as if the more shitty of a man you are and you don't care, is the more you get.
Mm-hmm.
If
Facts.
you're like a true deadbeat, the more you get. They don't put deadbeat
Yeah.
fathers on child support. Keep
Nope.
children away from deadbeats.
Facts.
They don't attack them guys don't even show up. Them guys don't even care. Some men they just spread they seed. They don't want to see. They don't care if the kid eat, what school they
And they
go
be
to.
getting
They
their
don't give a damn.
kids. And they be getting their
Get they
kids.
kids. They get their kids. The kids be fine. Be nothing wrong with them. Nothing. So I tell
Yes.
guys, I say, listen, man. Hey, if you got a career, if you're an outstanding member of society, a
Facts.
law-abiding citizen, if you have credentials that you need for work,
Mm-hmm.
make your money and live life. Learn about this. If you decide to get with a woman, and this is the family route you're going to take, you have to remember we're not in a traditional society
Society
anymore.
no more.
The rules
Facts.
the rules have changed. There are no traditional marriages anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They're very, very rare.
Facts.
Now inflation is so high, two people have to work. Man and woman got to go out there and fight traffic.
Right.
They both got to be ripping and running. Sometimes there's no one raising the children because the man and woman got to rip and get to work, and it's just this routine. So if you're
Exactly.
looking for that, if you think to be, unless you have enough money to facilitate the setting where you can say, okay, I'm the man. I'm going to pay all the bills.
Facts.
I'm going to give you an allowance,
Mm-hmm.
and this is your job here.
Right.
We can even put it in on a W-2 for all I care. But this is
Easy.
all you have to focus on. I don't need you working here and going there and being a slave to a boss. No, I'm the boss. You work for me. This is your job. As long as everything is in order here, oh, you're fine. And you get a car and you this, that, and the third. But this whole untraditional of she ripping, running, working, being influenced here, friends at work, this hot girl summer turn up,
Right.
this after work, the need to go out. No. Now, and even if you facilitate all of that, it can still go wrong.
That's right. It's still go wrong.
So
it's crazy.
Right. But what I'm saying is you are, and this is why this needs to be taught, all these laws and all this need to be taught in school. So young boy, that can be the ripple in the pond.
So this
that a young boy look at and wait a minute, I can have a baby with a girl and she could take the baby and go. You know how many men have babies with take the baby and go and then get put on child support but they don't know where she is.
It is. Facts.
Or
bro.
tell you, well, you
like, well,
I gotta find her. So you ain't gonna help.
Yep. Exactly.
I gotta
and
find
what resources do we exactly?
What resources? So what? Where it go? You on child support? You in the system? You gotta find a way to find her.
You gotta find a way to find her.
And they just smile. That's 18 years of free revenue for them.
Facts.
And 9 times out of 10, that young man or that young lady is going to be raised in a household without a father. So they won't have any type of authority. They won't have any type of respect to discipline. And then when they get out in the world now, the police ain't going to sit down and talk to you. They're just going to shoot you.
They're going to shoot you right in your mid. And that's the plan. And that's what and the fact that you have your son now, I got to ask you an important question. You feel like, because he's you're still working with him. You feel like it's never perfect with what you're doing as a parent. Like you feel like you could do it on your own, of course. Because women say it all the time. I can raise my son on my own, but do you feel like it's that everything's going to be perfect, that you can do it all on your own?
Listen here, can't nobody do it on their own. You need a village.
It is.
You understand? Let me tell you. The only reason, let me tell you, I'm gonna be honest with you. I had to personally get court out of my business. I had to. It about court. Family court ain't for our families, bro.
Ooh, he touches.
How I'm seeing my son, how I'm seeing my son now is because I had to push and fight to get certain things done to the other party, which was jail time. They still
So they
turned
did.
around and let her go, and
Yeah. So
and
so so
they
they
still
did do jail
turned.
time. Wow. So they did do
Yeah.
jail time. Wow, that's crazy. But they still let her go. What she
Look,
do, like a month?
just like no, brother, no. It was a stint, but at the end of
She
the
didn't even
day,
do a month. She didn't even do a month.
it was a few months. But what I'm trying to say is the system is rigged, bro. Until you put them through what we go through, they're not gonna humble themselves. Sometimes you gotta get a broad locked up in order for her to realize she's in a cage. She can't go nowhere. Damn, this can happen to me too. Shit. You take away, they've gotten too much stuff. Social media, this, job checks, money. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
all for women. I'm a feminist. Shit. I like women who know how to look at society. Okay, it takes two. Okay, baby, I'm gonna work a little bit, and I ain't gonna work that much because I gotta pick the kids up. But I'm gonna make sure this, that, and the third. It takes a village. It takes two people, man. Rent is so high. Mortgage rates are high. But what
Single
I'm
family
saying
home.
is,
Right.
rights without responsibility and accountability leads to narcissistic domestic terrorism.
Couldn't say it
Okay,
better, man.
so
Yes, sir.
as we have the rights to go work a job. We got the rights to get our hand dirty. We got the right to make a paycheck. But at the same time, don't get out of line, bro. You get caught out here speeding. Oh, where are we
Facts.
giving you this ticket, bro?
Facts.
You get caught out here, you ain't paying that child support. Oh, brother,
I'm going to
tell
jail.
it to the judge. So we are always walking a fine line, knowing yes, freedom is a thin line between freedom and jail. We
I
know
say
that.
that all the
Even
time.
when the lights come on and
Hmm.
even when the
Brother.
lights come on and it ain't us, like and you could be 110% legit, straight, 100% shit straight, everything straight, brother. And we
Facts.
still get nervous. You know why? Because they hold to an account that they don't hold women to. So just like children, when children get the phone too much, children eat too much whatever they want to eat. Now they won't eat their vegetables. Now you can't get them off the phone. Now you
Facts.
can't get them to do their homework. Can't get them. They're like children, bro.
Yes, sir. I
They're
mean,
like
brother.
children. The system need these children. They need the children and they need the women because through the children, they can now get money out the man. Through the children, they now have a case. They now have a case. Now you can this, that. You need to get out the home. Okay. Well, ma'am, is everything all right? Sir, we don't need to talk to you. But I called you. Sir, I'm telling you. If you get out of line, we're going to take you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is everything all right here? Once that win, it ain't even about her. She can go down there and say, no, it wasn't him. It wasn't me.
He's done.
Ma'am, the DA. Now now DA pick it up. And now they take you in. Now you have to pay bail. You have to get bond. Now you're out. And now you're under conditions of that could, if you mess up, you could revoke your bond. So now you're free, but you ain't really free.
Yo,
until your court date, which is 6 months to a year. So that whole lockup thing is just to get you in the system so we can say we got a tag him. We're gonna let him, he gonna pay his bond, he gonna get out. Right back up in here, he gonna sit. We gonna make money off him. Now this messes up your whole life. You lose your job, your CDL license. God forbid if you're on child support for the other children, now you got arrearage. Messes up your whole life.
Facts.
That's why I tell men, look, you ain't got no kids, you're ambitious, you're working a job, you got your CDLs. Let me tell you something. You better, even men that ain't got no money yet, you better act like you got it and protect yourself. protect your fee.
Facts. Facts, bro.
You feel
Facts.
me?
All the way,
Because
100%.
that decision will put the most law-abiding man, the most Christian man, the most
Away.
faith-devout man in a part in a court of wolves and sharks. And you're
Facts.
just like, after court, you're exhausted. You're like, fuck, man. Shit. Felt like I was fighting 10 niggas and I couldn't even get up to get no air.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man.
I've seen them lock up white men. I've seen them lock up military vets. I've seen them lock up guys that didn't even know what the hell was going on. They just came to court
It just came to court.
because they got this piece of paper. Came to court, like, yeah, no, go. Okay, well, yeah, bailiff. He's looking like, what the hell?
Man,
at the end of the night, it's corrupt.
It is, sir. And you know what? You couldn't have said it better, man. I couldn't have said it better than that. That is everything that every man could have said. And hey, Krishner, man, I just really appreciate you having the right and understanding that you do have a right to have a voice and sharing your voice with me. And I can guarantee you that your voice will be shared with other people, man. And I want to say I need brothers like you in my life because I don't know what to do. I found you and I don't know what to do. And I'm sure you know what that place is like where we get stuck and lost and we feel like we the enemy and we doubt ourselves. And I've been there and I really do appreciate your voice, man. Krishner, man, you touched on the fact, and then, and shout out to the Mr. Palmer too, because I know he touched on some things. And I had to touch on a few things, and I went in depth on understanding men and women in this system that we are in. You know what I mean? And what's going on in it. Bro, thank you so much for your time, man.
Anytime. I appreciate you, giving me, first I appreciate you reaching out because that was the whole reason of my movement and going so hard too and documenting everything. It was so like, I wanted to show the world like, yo, this is how hard it is for men to actually have access to their kids. Like, it ain't no joke. Like, I was going through it, but at the same time, it was a purpose. I was driven by a purpose with the journey and everything that came with it. You know what I mean? And I got tired, but you know what I'm saying? Like a good saying, rest but never rust. Rest, never rust.
And can you tell me one thing that Mom said too? You mentioned on the phone, you said anger is one letter away from danger. And shout out to moms too, because you said moms told you that. You have a very strong foundation, brother, and I need that. Whatever your mom dropped on you, you told me one time, and I remembered it. Stick with me. You know what I mean? I'm in that phase now of being angry for what's going on. And I appreciate that knowledge, brother. Thank you. Sure, man.
Yeah, anytime, man. Like I said, I push for men of all ages to, YouTube is a great platform.
Absolutely.
And along with your platform as well. And, there's many other platforms, shout out Mr. Palmer.
Absolutely. Mr. Angry Man, too.
Just a couple of people. Shout out, the Angry Man, shout him out, too, because these are all men who have platforms who are spreading awareness to men about not just about, right men and female nature, but also about becoming the best version of yourselves and changing the laws in your mind.
Facts.
I think that was Mr. Palmer that said that. Mr. Palmer said, man, the system ain't gonna change. It's all about the money.
That's right.
They don't care about you. They don't care about her. They don't care about that child. They care about the money. Child support is a $1 billion business.
Facts. Absolutely.
I've met lawyers who've been debarred because they try to go up against the system.
Really? I gotta hear that
Okay.
story. We gotta talk about it.
Okay, I know lawyers who are ex-lawyers who are in hiding.
Bro.
Don't want to be seen. Just like how you went searching, I went searching too. Because after a while, I said, man, this is bigger than child custody. This is corrupt.
Facts. And you found these people? Because those are some interesting stories, man. You lawyers that just got so tired. They said, fuck this, man. I'm going to go in, and they got debarred for the shit that they uncovered. Wow.
The Bar Association in bed with judges.
Wow. Yo, brother.
When you file, I filed complaint. They said we can't do nothing. File for an appeal.
This is
always get a transcript. When you go to court, make sure, brothers, get a transcript. Tell them you want a transcript. Anything can go down in that court. That transcript is what you want. Let me tell you another thing, brothers. They have fathers' rights organization, right?
Mm-hmm.
The fathers' rights organization come forth, videotape your trial.
Really?
They file something they can file. They can file into court, and the judge has to approve it or not.
Well,
but,
I didn't
know what I'm saying? And they'll send a guy out or whoever they team, and they'll set up the video camera. So one of the guys told me, he said judges seem to behave a little bit better when they know they're being videotaped.
Whoa, brother, this is deep.
Can you imagine?
I imagine
all this information I had to fire to get to that point to know
that. I always imagine this stuff, I always wonder in my mind, but and that is a whole nother nutshell of things, man. And that's deep, because I didn't know that they had an organization where you can actually come out and videotape, because they will be on their job. You think about it, if a person is being watched, they're gonna be on their shit. I mean,
judges go. Let me tell you, judges have something called immunity. Absolutely. And there is no jury in family. There's no jury in family court. So the decision is solely left up to that one person. Regardless of how much evidence you got, at the end of the day, it's one person. So how one person, if you're only one person and you're supposed to go off of people, you're supposed to make a verdict based on the evidence that has been presented. Some of them, they don't even, what do they call it? They block evidence. Damn, what do they call it? Judge didn't seal the evidence.
Whoa, a suppressed seal? Yeah.
Seal.
Wow.
Seal it.
Because they don't want their job to
me. I had dirt. They don't want their dirt. I got to the news. They were threatening me. Police driving by my home. All of a sudden, why? What's the big threat for?
What's the big threat for? Because
why?
It's bigger than Eno Brown.
It's bigger. It's bigger than my case. How many other cases have you done like this, where you should have given the child to the father, but you don't screwed up? It's just that you don't screwed up, and I was able to nationalize the screw up and show why you should have never made that verdict. I got to court. He said, "Who called the news?"
Ooh, are you serious?
He didn't want to know. He didn't want to know what happened. Who called the news? That goes to show you the level of disrespect, emasculation, racism, and discrimination that goes on. They think you stupid, especially when you look like us.
Yes.
Who called private? How'd you call a private investigator? Every nigga ain't no dumb nigga.
Ooh. Right.
That's where racism comes in very heavy in the court system. Very heavy. They don't expect you to be an educated black man that knows how to talk and has the actual verbiage and the actual sense, and also the actual brain reading power where you can look and see I'm being set up. They think, some people think they're the only one that know how to play chess.
Ooh. Like you the only Bobby Fish out this motherfucker, right? Yeah. Totally understood, man. Totally understood, man. You couldn't. Hey, man, Krishner. Hey, man, listen, man. I need you to tell the people, by the way, if we can find your music too. I want to know where we can get your music, where we can find you at. Throw a couple plugs in there so that people could know, because you've got some deep words, man. There's more to you than just this interview. Can you let us know where we can find your music at, your Instagram plugs, all of that good stuff?
Well, the music that I have up now was an EP with my group African Cartel, and that's African with a K, Cartel with a K, and we're a socially hip hop reggae conscious group,
I love it.
and we have a station on Pandora. Like, if you Google African Cartel, you're gonna see stuff come up. You're gonna see us. We had a website and stuff, but we're kind of revamping things. But we're on Pandora. If you Google us, you'll see maybe Spotify will bring up some stuff. But we've been grinding for a while. We got an EP that we put out a couple years ago, 5-song EP called Struggle Music.
I love it.
Because at the end of the day, we all in the struggle.
Yes.
And music continues. Music is the message that transcends through generations. You know what I'm saying? So that's like The Voice. I'm a firm believer in the Most High, and words, sound, and power. You know what I mean? And just like how you have people that chant, and you got people that hum, you got people that talk, people that whisper. We all got a voice, and we all need to be heard. So. The speaking thing and the interview thing, this is, it's kind of new to me, but I see, more people are hitting me up based on the story, and they want to, kind of know my point of views and what I know. But yeah, African Cartel, you can just Google it. African with a K, Cartel with a K, the original way. And if you have Pandora Music, we also have on Pandora. They play us with all the other reggae, hip hop, Bob Marley, stuff like that. But we're revamping the business now to put it more in a business entity structure so that we can put out more music and give it to the world.
I love it.
Right to have a voice. The right to have.
I love it, brother. I'm sorry I had to give you that, brother. I love it. I love it, man. I love what you got. I love how you did that. And I love how you have a voice to share with people, man. And I couldn't imagine nobody else for this first episode but you, man. I'm more than taken aback. I'm happy. I'm excited, and you have a story to tell, man. I just want to thank you so much, big bro. So much.
Yeah,
man.
thank you, man. Thank you. And having me as your first guest, hopefully this interview will go viral, and it'll be just one of the many great interviews to come, and your channel will grow. And I wish you all the success too with your children. I read your story and stuff like that you sent in the email, and I was saying to myself, boy, it's the same old thing. Man comes home, empty house.
Facts.
That's where you have to sit down with yourself and wonder, where am I going to go next?
And that's crazy, and that's what happened, and that's where I am now today. It was that moment that you said, having that moment that you look at yourself, and you be right here at this moment, and you create this, and it don't care about no money. What you care about is somebody else being touched. And when you lost like that, you want to have a direction. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not the only one. So, hey, Krishner, man, I appreciate you so much. I got to give you a round of applause, big homie. Have to. Thank you so much. Yes, sir. And,
the right to have a voice.
Yo, my man, I appreciate you so much, man. Hey, listen, we're going to hit your music. I'm going to definitely get it myself, and I appreciate you, big brother, man. Anything you want to say before you drop off, bro?
To all the men and the women out there who are, working with men, raising children, at the end of the day, you have to understand, having children is a responsibility. And it takes a village to raise that child. It takes a village. It should be more than just two people, even in the ring. It shouldn't be. It should be a village. You should have your village of supporters. She has her village of supporters. If she gets out of line, her village comes and puts her in line. The village. The lack of community, the lack of village is what's causing all of this stuff to go haywire. Because the village is going to hold accountable. No, 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 no. You can't do this.
That's right.
What are you doing?
Doing
You're gonna make us look bad. It's a village, man. Make sure
That's right.
you have your village and your supporters. And sometimes we don't have that many supporters. But the way how this whole system is kind of rigged, make sure she has a village.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Make sure she got
Because
a
and make sure they're accountable people. And
That's
you
right.
vet her and you vet the village.
Facts.
Because 9 times out of 10, if these are the people who are going to be her influencers, these are the people who are going to be the ones to hold her accountable. Sometimes it doesn't have to go to litigation. It can just be a conversation amongst the village people. Say,
That's
no,
right.
you're wrong. Cut the bullshit.
Cut the bullshit.
So just
Hold
be
people
careful.
down.
Be careful and protect your seed.
As best as you can, man. Hey, man.
That's it.
Hey, Krishner, man. I just want to say thank you so much. Give a round of applause to you, man. Dropping bombs, my man. Yeah, right. I just want to say thank you, man, for this to be the first one, and thank you so much, bro. And salute to you.
Thank you as well. Keep in touch.
You already know, big brother. You have a wonderful day, man. Keep on encouraging the people, brother.
All right, my brother.
My man. Have a great day, big bro. One.
All right, bless.
Bless. Right, y'all. So y'all heard it first,
The right to have a voice. The right to have a voice. The right to...
Man, you already know, y'all. So y'all heard that, and we want to let y'all know that to this, man, the negativity and what we do, y'all, it really is the right to have a voice here. And I want to let y'all know for sure that you never can stop this negativity. And what we do to negativity, what we do to it.
Bad energy, switch it into chemistry. All negativity turn into memory. Loved ones turn to enemy.
For sure
Feel
that.
like a Kennedy. Shoot down my dreams while I'm waving high. Kiss what I
So we
said
can go.
while I wave goodbye. Take bad energy,
So
switch it into chemistry.
I want to end
All
y'all with that for
negativity
sure.
turn
That
into
and when it
memory.
come down
Loved
to it,
ones
y'all,
turn to
you never can stop. Yes, sir. And this is Kyle the Voice. And I want to let y'all know that here you do have a voice. Now this is episode 1. We're going to get a million times better as we proceed. And this is a platform for fathers to have a voice, a right to participate. You know what I mean? So I just want to appreciate y'all for y'all time and being here. And this is
The right to have a voice. The right to have a voice. The right to have a voice. The right